And go ahead and introduce yourself.
Can I take this? Yeah,
There you
you
go.
can.
Oh.
There we go. It was stuck. It was stuck in there. I just got turned on, right? Is it on now? No. All right, Jerry, how do I do this? We weren't sure if they were working quite
They're not
correctly,
quite as
so-
loud as you would expect them to be, but they are on.
Is it working now? Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me without it.
Yeah, you probably don't need it.
Right.
We don't have a huge, huge, huge auditorium. It's nice though, very nice. Well, my name is Ellen Bartlett. And my wonderful husband's sitting right here. We spent 20 years, well, he spent 20 years in Washington. And I took hundreds of people on tours of the White House and the Capitol. Because a lot of people in Western Maryland are afraid of D.C. Do you know that? That's true, they are. But I should say the Bartlett Farm was purchased in 1961 on Buckystown Pike, just north of Buckystown. 10 children have grown up in our home. We have milked cows, we've had sheep and goats. We've had a wonderful time. Our children learned a lot of things on that farm. Of course, we learned a lot of things from the children too. It's amazing what you can learn from the kids if you listen to them. And we did. And we appreciated that very much. When he was elected to Congress, I thought I'd better get acquainted in the neighborhood because I'd been pretty busy. The only thing I'd been involved in was the homemakers clubs. The Buckystown homemakers. And my neighbor, Dorothy Dudrow, and then my mother and my mother-in-law lived with us for about 12 years. And so the three of us would go with Dorothy and we would go to Buckystown homemakers, right there in Buckystown. We really enjoyed the homemakers clubs. So I've been a member of that for many, many years. And then since then, I've been a member of the Officers' Wives Club of Fort Detrick and the, oh, let's see, what are all the clubs? And, yeah, oh goodness. For the Homemakers Club, from 1999 to 2000, I was the president of all the Homemakers Clubs in Frederick County. At that time, we had a lot of clubs, but I guess I'm time's up. Anyway, I've had a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Jerry Donald. I'm from Braddock Heights. I was born in Frederick County 50 years ago, this fall. I grew up in Braddock Heights, went to schools in Frederick, and then when they built some new buildings, they transferred us all over here, and I went to the Middletown schools. And the first year here, I got to meet my basketball coach. He was a senior in high school then, so we met each other 40 years ago. I grew up in Braddock Heights, went to this local high school, played lots of sports there, went away to college, worked for Representative Beverly Byron, came back here to teach school. Taught at South Hagerstown, taught at Linganore High School, taught at Heather Ridge School, and been teaching at Middletown High School. It's my 27th year altogether. It's my 12th year at Middletown High School. My activities in the community. I have been a football official. I've been a coach. I have been active in many things in the school, department chair, different boards, curriculum writing. I have been the president and on board of the Braddock Heights Community Association, where we run the park, we run the pool, things like that. I'm married. My wife's here. My youngest daughter's here. We have two other daughters. And that's what I've basically done in the community. You may know my folks. Ruth Donald worked at Frederick Memorial Hospital for over 30 years in critical care. And my father, Carl Donald, was a principal at Middletown Middle. He started at West Frederick Junior High School. He was principal at Middletown Middle, and he was principal at Brunswick Middle School, and he was an assistant for quite a while. So that's my family, that's who I am, and thank you for this opportunity this evening.
Thank you. Why did you want to run for county council?
I was frustrated with what had been going on in the county the last 4 years. I understood that we were in a recession, and that things had to be changed. There's no doubt about that. Money wasn't raining from the sky. But I didn't like a lot of the things that had gone on under the guise, to me, of supposedly privatization and making things tighter for the county, I didn't think were necessary. If that were true, then the county budget wouldn't have gone up as much as it did. The fire taxing wouldn't have gone up the way it did. The idea that the budget was being squeezed in education, that the leader of the county commissioners said not one dime more than maintenance of effort. In other words, you're going to get $2,009 forever. That bothered me, because I said to myself, that's not just bad for the school system, okay, that's part of the community, that's bad for everybody. If you own a house and you have bad schools, your property value is going to go down. Your wealth is going to go down. I didn't want to see that happen in our community. I didn't think we could take 4 more years of that. I didn't like the tax increment financing. We haven't talked about that much in this whole campaign. Tax increment financing started out in California. And the idea was basically you take a rundown area in a city, you set up a special taxing district, you try to encourage businesses there and all that stuff. We were doing tax increment financing in this area, which is kind of a giveaway for people to redevelop. And that's fine if you're in an area that needs that sort of thing. We were doing it for housing developments. We're doing it for this Jefferson Tech Park, which I think is a terrible mistake and a giveaway. So these things bothered me, and I thought, well, I could complain. Okay, do a lot of that. I could help somebody run for office, and I looked around for people who wanted to run, and all the good people I know decided they wanted to do something else. And I decided, well, I'm going to run. What's the worst case scenario? So here I am.
Okay, why did I file to run for county council? I filed the last day, and I thought, you know, they need a woman on that county council. We have 5 county commissioners, and they're all men. I think it's about time we had a woman's voice on that county council. We have issues as women, as homemakers, as working women, as mothers, and as grandmothers. We have issues that the men really don't understand. And so I thought, well, why not? I think I can tell them what for every now and then. So that is why I filed to run. And I think I've proved the point. I am a Republican. And when it came through the election in the spring, the primaries, I was the only woman that won. So I am the only woman on the Republican side. And I think that we need a voice on this county council. And we'll see how this election goes. I've already voted, as you can see, I early voted. And that is really nice over there at the senior center. A lot of people are early voting. It was a beautiful day today, a wonderful time to vote. I think we have issues here in Frederick County. I don't want to see Frederick County become like Montgomery County. I just don't think we need that. I don't think we need all this multi-family housing that we have. Remember the wonderful Golden Mile that we had out there on Route 40? It's not so golden anymore, is it, folks? It's really not. So we need to look at this very carefully. So that's why I filed.
Thank you.
Like ours often need the assistance of Frederick County for economic incentives for businesses to locate in our towns. What role do you see Frederick County playing in helping create economic opportunity for job growth?
Job growth is very important. We need businesses here. But we are in the state of Maryland, you must understand. The taxes are high in Maryland. When people reach retirement age, where do they go? They move to Virginia or to Pennsylvania or West Virginia. They move out of Maryland because our taxes are too high in Maryland when you're retired. We chose not to leave Maryland. I think Maryland's a beautiful state, and Frederick County especially is a beautiful, beautiful area. And we need to keep it beautiful. We have beautiful farms. We have so many things here. And businesses, there's no reason that we have online now. How many of you have a computer? Let me see your computer. How many have a computer? You have a cell phone. You have a computer in your cell phone, right? Why do we need all these buildings? Our youngest son got his doctorate degree at Carnegie Mellon. He works online. He works for a business down in Tennessee, but he works online. And we can do a lot of that here in Frederick County. And we don't need a lot of infrastructure for all, even the government offices can allow a lot of people to work online.